Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here, and for this Topical Tuesday, I kind of just want to talk a little bit about my Black Series collecting journey. Um, for some people, the collection is just the collection. It's just, man, it's my figures on the shelf, and that's all it is, and that's totally fine. But my collecting has given me a lot of opportunities I've found, and I was sitting at a bonfire a couple or like 2 weeks ago with 212 Hunter, drinking a few beers, and it just kind of realized I just kind of realized like, man, Hunter and I are friends because we both collect toys, and I make videos about them, and he collects toys and watches videos about them, and we happen to fall into the same social circle, meeting 1313, and it I don't know. I mean, it's weird to look back and think, all the way back in like 2013, that X-Wing Luke orange line figure I bought at Target is where this whole thing started. Um, so I mean, just to clarify, that wasn't where my Star Wars figure, history started. My figure history started with the 2007 Saga collection, Darth Vader. That was the first one I had as a kid. Now these were ones I got played with, and there was a whole assortment of them throughout my childhood. But as far as like the Black Series, that was where I really began my true collecting, if you will. My buy a figure and put it on the shelf, like I do now. And I guess just to tell the story, it was 2013, somewhere in the middle of the year. I mean, I couldn't tell you the day or anything. I'm not that diehard about it. Um, but I remember I was with my grandma, who has always been just on me about my collecting. Um, and I knew that the Black Series was a thing that was starting to happen. And I get to this Target, and they have like four X-Wing Lukes on the shelf. The Sand Troopers, the R2s, the Darth Mauls, they're gone, but they have a couple X-Wing Lukes. And that was kind of the one I really wanted to start with anyway. Um, so I bought the X-Wing Luke. And let me tell you, with Grandma, it was a whole debate that day. She was like, "No, even though it's your money, you can't buy that. You have to keep it in the box if you're gonna buy it, so it's worth money someday." And let me tell you my thoughts on investing with the Black Series. They are so mass produced. The only Star Wars stuff worth keeping in box for investing is like 77 to 83 Kenner stuff. The rest of everything else is mass produced trash. You're not going to send your kids to college on it. Sorry, not sorry. But so Grandma's being mean, and and so, but whatever. But I end up getting the figure, and like after she went to bed that night, I remember like opening it, posing it, being absolutely mind blown by this awesome figure, and then putting it back in the box, and she was none the wiser. And the next day, I went back home to my parents, and and then it was just whatever. But ever since, man, I mean, sometimes she'll drive by my place, just to check things out, like when I'm at work, and yeah, I'll get a text. There's an Amazon box on your porch. Don't you have enough toys? Like, I mean, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you have anyone in your life that is badgering you about your collecting, you're not alone. And where this is gonna go, don't let it, like discourage you if you've got someone trying to shut you down in real life, because you never know what will come from your life experiences. That X-Wing Luke started a boulder rolling downhill, an avalanche, and it's just really led to some neat things. And let me also say, my other grandmother, my Nana, is a saint. She'll go to Walmart and call me and tell me what figures are on the shelf. So, and I do have some supporting people in the family too, and my mom and my sister and brother do the same for me. Um, so you can have some good people in your life too. Don't let the bad ones keep you down. But I mean, basically, I've been with the Black Series since day one. I've been here for every innovation. I've been here when the faces got bad for Rogue One. I've been here when they got back to being great for Solo. But ultimately, I mean, I think, like, I've been collecting, and I got into YouTube, like 2017, 18, something like that. And eventually got to where I found the General Lando wave early in Meadville, Pennsylvania. I found it crazy early. And someone who had followed me on Instagram finally messaged me after I made the post saying I found it crazy early. And that someone is Jackson of the 1313 podcast, which started a little bit of back and forth conversation with us, which eventually led to me seeing their post about getting a booth at Comic Con Erie last year, 2022. and me being like, man, I've only ever met Jackson one time, and we've texted a little bit here and there, but they have a booth, and I'd like to go meet them. Um, so I went, and it's weird. I mean, it started with that X-Wing Luke, and it spiraled into me going to Comic Con Erie, and I had no clue they had people coming out for that because I wasn't part of their Discord yet. And Skywalker Hendrix was already there, and I knew of him. I'd watched his videos. I was like, what? He's here? And I meet Tommy and Jacob, and Jackson never made that con, unfortunately. But I think, like, and I met Hunter that night, that first night. And it's just insane. I mean, like, I've made these real life friends because I bought that X-Wing Luke back in 2013. It's that butterfly effect. You know, you step on the butterfly and change the course of history. That was my effect. I bought that figure. Now I've made all these, like, awesome real life friends. I got to be on a Lazy Sunday stream with Out of the Basement. I got to go meet them and go with the 1313 guys and hang out with Hunter and Skywalker Hendrix and Zach from Black Series Cantina at ICCC Con in Nashville this year. And we got to go with press passes. I do my reviews, and I got press passes because I do my reviews because I bought that X-Wing Luke back in 2013. And a few weeks ago, I went to Fan Expo Chicago, and I got to hang out with Hunter at his place afterwards and, have these beers at the bonfire, which ultimately started me thinking about this, which is where this video has come from. And in a couple of weeks, it's the 2023 Comic-Con Erie, and the whole group's getting together again. And I guess, like, in a sappy way, it's this X-Wing Luke is why all this has happened. It's all cascaded to this. And, like, these people that I consider some of my best real-life friends, people that I talk to every single day, has all happened because of this X-Wing Luke figure. And I've gotten to go to these events because of this X-Wing Luke figure. And I have no free money because I'm always buying Black Series figures because of this X-Wing Luke figure. I mean, it's weird. So I guess what I'm trying to say is if you have anyone in your life that is trying to shut down your collecting, that doesn't respect your hobby, that doesn't respect you enough to allow you to enjoy the things that you enjoy, don't let them. And I'm not saying that if you collect figures, you're going to have these great experiences happen to you that I have. I consider myself incredibly lucky. But my life experiences as they've been would not have happened had I not bought that figure and gotten hooked on the line and stayed with it. So I'm a staunch defender of the line, and, like, it's, things have happened in my life because I collect Star Wars the Black Series. So I don't know. I've just been, it's weird. I got put on this mental path, talking to Hunter around that fire, and my collecting the Black Series has done a lot of awesome stuff for me in life. So if you have a hobby, enjoy it. Don't let people talk you down out of it. If my grandma got her way, I would have no action figures and none of these real life friends that I have. So don't let your grandma talk you out of buying Star Wars toys. Star Wars is forever and grandmas are not. And that sounds horrible. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of cool stuff has happened to me because of this, and I just realized it recently, and it makes me appreciate the line that much more. It's more than just toys. It's a community. Get yourself out there in the action figure community. Make some friends, and just have yourself a good time. That's what the Black Series means to me. It's not just figures on the shelf. It's a whole life of experience if you allow it to be. So that's what the Black Series means to me. I've rambled for way too long about it. I'm going to go. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.